go! Hello everyone, we're time for Full Dive, or a much longer name otherwise. Full Dive, this JRPG is worse than my real life MMORPG crafting. So anyway, I think this is gonna be good comedy anime. I mean, I've seen his Navi, you know, he's like the fairy chick, said OPPAI. It was good. No, but it is like a fun anime, right? Kind of gives me like a Konosuba vibe to it. Definitely kind of, you know, comedy, parody, you know, joking about the games and so on, right? Like he's like in some kind of worse game. Right? That being said, though, I say this every time, and I, you know, I said by saying this thing, is that I do always find it being automatically worse for me when it's not an actual isekai, you know. So this is like basically an isekai, but it's a virtual reality that he can maybe quit the game, maybe not. But I always found that's like, yeah, I never really liked that as a setting, right? Because the reason is, right, because depending on the rules, it depends on how it's stuck in the game, whatever, right? But usually they can just stop playing the game. For example, let's say Bofuri, you know, there's no actual stake in it because someone backstabbed me, I can just quit playing the game. It reminds me of CSI, I guess like Miami or CSI, whatever. One of the CSI, this is a cyber CSI. You know, these cop shows, right? You know, detective shows. But anyway, in one of those episodes, they're chasing a guy in Second Life that saw like a murder in real life or something, or like some kind of crime, or it's also some kind of guy, and they're like chasing him inside Second Life in this like MMO, you know, RPG kind of setting, right? And it doesn't make any sense because they're like, we have to surround him, and like, we got it now. They literally with the avatars, you know, chasing him around. We finally got him. Now you have to tell us the criminal's name, you know, the truth. And it's like, you got me. I will expose this thing, you know, yeah. And I'm just like, and he can just turn off the computer. You haven't actually captured him. You can just turn off the computer. Even if you would capture his avatar permanently, even if he would be, you know, permanently captured by them, you know, in a game setting, right? He could just not ever play the game again. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. That's not how it works. The TV show is so stupid, but. That's a little bit what I think about this virtual reality settings, right? Depends, of course, if he's stuck in the game, or if you can turn off and so on. But it has an issue with it, like, well, you can just stop playing the game, right? If you're dying or whatever. But that being said, it looks like a funny comedy anime, right? And I hope this is what I mean, I suppose, and I hope he's stuck in this game. I haven't seen it before. This is the first impression you can watch, reaction view and so on. And I just know the premise, there's a virtual reality, not an isekai, right? But it might turn into an isekai, so to speak, if he's stuck in the virtual reality. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's not playing the game, right? And they can't, you know, leave. And it's like, if you die in the game, you die in reality, so on. So if it's like that, I'm gonna prefer that premise, right? If it's actually stuck in the game. Or, I suppose, there's one thing that works too, though. If they actually have like an active life outside too, right? I've seen more trailers. He's talking to his, the babe, Riona, this babe character, in real life, right? So I was that thing though. If it has like a really good storyline that he's actually like dating, he's like a teammate in reality, or whatever, right? Kind of like MMO Yankee, which is, she was to date her, teammate, right, in reality and so on, and meet him in real life. And so it's like a double story. Then it can be fun. Yeah, sure. Then it can be pretty good. Like, and if it's comedy and comedy romance, but let's see. I mean, I hope that could be it. Otherwise, I suppose there's like an actual really interesting real life thing too. Perhaps, right. But if it's very, very focused on the actual game world, then I'd rather have them be stuck in the game, right? So it actually feels more like stakes. That if he dies, he dies. Right? Anyway, let's watch the game. So 3, 2, 1, and go. It's like my Wednesday show now. Maybe when I watch the Slice of Life girl show too, when they go on drive bikes too. Maybe. It's pretty relaxing, sane show. Or maybe next week there are more animes though. I don't know. Yeah, so it has super virtual reality, right? So is it stuck in the game, is the question, right? It's like a sci-fi game and mecha fighting. Fighting insects and so on. Okay, Super AI Re-Evo. Oh, This is like all other animes. Yeah, like the NPC is so powerful that they have their own soul, right, basically. And the NPC can also feel feelings and everything, and they have senses. Okay. It's like the ultimate super AI where everything makes sense, yeah. I don't know. Some play for relaxation, I play to win. So yeah, I relax by crushing people's souls, you know. Okay, sounds like a really weird setting. Actually, very unrealistic. Okay, but this sounds actually very unrealistic because multiple play game for challenge too, right? I think very few people. It would be a really weird market if every game got too easy and so on. Yeah, that would be a really weird market. So, yeah, but it's like the worst game ever. Something problematic game, but it's probably perfectly fine to just leave the game world, right? Full dive. Virtual X Reality. That's a nice title. I guess it's a student, right? He's talking to his teacher about, you know, you have to decide your work and so you have to decide what you're gonna do, right? Okay, what happened to him? I couldn't leave the house, okay? Some kind of bad things. Incident, yeah. Trackon. What happened then? Did he get trackuned? I don't know, but it sounds like something happened, right? Yeah, let's take the title of the book there. Okay. Something happened. Maybe. Unless Sense is a moron. I think it used to be a track, so maybe he broke his legs, right? Maybe he hurt himself in the track. It's like in Persona 5, maybe. Yeah, and he knows the track guy. It's like physically active gaming though. Can you like move in when you play the video game? Sounds like he had an injury with his body, right? Yes, I can't get stronger anyway. Maybe. Yeah, something like that. Like he's. I mean, nothing should happen yet, right? You can explain that he has some kind of issue, I guess, physically. I would guess, right? Oh, some classic bullies. Here we go. And now it's like, bullies. Okay, now the anime is also real. It's like, yeah. Classic douchebag Japanese bullies. Yeah, use some money and so on. Yeah. Yeah, he's loaning money, you know. Yeah, it's like, I will pay you back one day, best friend. Don't worry about it. Yeah, very like generic bully guys. Yeah, so super generic bully guys are like, whoa, yeah, man, wanna. Okay, absurdly generic bullies are gone. They were like, yeah, they were like straight up super generic, right? Hey, man, I'm gonna pay you back one other day, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it's a typical JRPG, right? You know, fantasy characters. Yeah, it's like EverQuest, elves and so on. Could be like a FF12. Yeah, and this guy took his money. Uh-oh. Gave them way too much money there. Damn bullets, man. But maybe play another game then, because I can't afford this game. Yeah, maybe get another game now, like this Outlawed game. Here we go, yeah, it's like an old shop that no one goes to anymore. It's like some kind of arcade or something that no one entered in 20 years ago. I'm gonna guess the hot baby's gonna work. Look at this, the hot baby's gonna work here, right? Come on, it's gonna be an OPPAI ONEE-CHAN that works here. Definitely. I knew it! I knew it! I was like, it's gonna be the ONEE-CHAN when she works. Come on. This is how it is, man. It's gonna be that babe. They also like a super hot ONEE-CHAN babe that works with this kind of game. Used like in real life, man. If you find this place, there's like a hot babe that works with them. Exactly like in reality. Exactly like in reality. It's not some otaku fat guy, but it's like a super pretty lady with amazing eyes and a massive oppai. That's exactly what you find in this, you know, underground kind of like, with this kind of face. Yeah, those movements are so common to find in these. But in anime, they're always there. Yeah, know? If anime ever taught me anything, is that these places are always. Man, her oppas are just ridiculous too. Yeah, I mean, she really is ridiculously sizable. Yeah, like holy shit. Yeah, it's like Final Fantasy 22. Men det är definitely kommer där. Exactly! And then you keep reading it! This is Bleach. This is definitely explaining something like Bleach something. Yeah, I keep reading it anyway. It's like, this doesn't make any sense anymore. Toasted was even, yeah, but okay. He's like, it's true. Every franchise, it gets worse every week. He's like, yeah, stop breaking my illusion, woman! But look at her oppais. I mean, she's a ridiculous character. She's like ridiculously sized. This is absurd. More of the beast I've seen in a wild anime. Holy shit, man. Yeah, I was like, whoa. She's very beautiful, definitely. Yeah. No, I mean, but if she stands there, you know, on the front, right? This is very Arara now. I got a game for you, a special game. What do you say? Yeah. So of course she's gonna bring him into this horrible game, right? It's like, I got this game, the worst game ever. What is the amazing game then? But yeah. Of course not. She immediately, I got the money. It's way better than that game, so just deal with it. It's a full dive RPG, just deal with it, boy. No. This is what I mean now. She like comes up here, her body looks ridiculous. This is a little hardcore game for real boys. Yes. Look at that. Double C! What that? Double C! What's... Yeah, it's like super badass. Double C rating! Man, the main character is like wuss, man. Yeah, I have to say I really set the main character. It's like, oh, but I wanna play this franchise game I've played for 20 years. Come on, this main character is a freaking loser, man. Like, this character is amazing ONEE-CHAN, Arara ONEE-CHAN. Ryono ONEE-CHAN is like, you're gonna play my game, boy. It's like, okay. I mean, I wouldn't play this game immediately with her. I was like, yes, lady. Let's play the game together. It's like, I will teach you, little sweetie. Yeah, come on. She's going all Arara on me. I would definitely be like, yes. This game I will play much more than this other game. Exactly. Honeypot, but it was beautiful. It was worth it. Man, just play the game, man. See, I have to say I have to set the main character. Just play the goddamn game instead of being all like, oh, it's 10 years old. There's so many good games today that are 10 years old. There's so many games today that are over 10 years old that are so much better. Also kind of Emoto-chan, I guess. In Kaide Emoto-chan. Yeah, of course it's like some kind of arrow something like that, right? Some immortal, of course, some kind of classic immortal scene. But you know what I mean? There's so many games today that was released 10 or I mean, freaking 21, yeah, 2011 or way back, right? That are way, way better than new games released today. I'm not saying that every new game is bad, but I'm just saying that you can easily find, yeah, like games that are 20 years old that are amazing, right? Much, much better than most games released today, right? So yeah, I don't like that the main character is just a loser. It's like, I don't want to play anything that's old. I don't want to test. I don't want to play old games. That's too complicated. You know, yeah, like, it's kind of an annoying main character. But anyway, so he gets like a goddess. Flora. What's the special with the game then? This is really hard. Does it pain you when you get damaged? Are you stuck in the game perhaps? But then she wouldn't be outside, so unless she's some kind of trickster that forces you to the game. It's very advanced technology here. Yeah. Oh, it perfectly made an avatar of me inside the game. I see. Yeah, it's like. Yeah, it's like a typical, you know, fantasy RPG so far. Yeah, and apparently in this game you could, with this tech you can like feel everything. I guess he got his name then. Is it Emote-san then suddenly? Yeah, okay, it's the actual pain in this game. Yeah, this game is the actual pain. Who's this then? An AI, I guess, because AIs are so advanced now, they have actual emotions. I guess it's like his AI motto, something. Maybe she's a player though. It's like, oh, I touched her. Maybe she's a player though. It's so realistic. It's like, it's a game. I was like, yeah. Did I just get isekai? Okay, this is a. Did I get isekai? No, it's an actual game. Okay, yeah, I got the UI here. Okay, ooh, that was weird. I'll see. Okay, it's best childhood friend. That's the backstory. Yeah, classic childhood best friend. Oh, apple horse. Starwood Valley. Gotta go out and get some apples, man. It's like her ONEE-CHAN, I guess. Yeah, like her muscular blonde ONEE-CHAN. Yeah, exactly. ONEE-CHAN, I know it. Yeah, it's a nice ONEE-CHAN. It's a big old apple. I guess it was full dive. Wait, why would the other game have taste for? The other game sounds horrible. The other game sounds horrible because they don't have taste. Like, why would you not have taste in the other game? It just sounds bad, man. I want to have a taste when I play a virtual reality game. So every other game after this game, they drop taste. They're like, I don't want to have taste. That's like too advanced, man. I can see why you don't want to have pain, but like, why don't they have like no taste? Like, the kind of. Okay. Okay, you can't go to the Flora Castle. They're like, no, that place is scary, man. Why? Okay, so outside world is super dangerous, I guess. You get killed immediately. Okay. Maybe the game's world is horrible. The setting is... Maybe everything is crazy. The whole setting might be crazy, right? You do the farm, boy. Maybe they wrote the game world really weird. They're like, oh, if you leave the city, they kill you immediately. But I guess in this world you might die, right? Because you take pain, so you might actually die if you die. Yeah. Its head. RPG! I'm in a game, girls! Come on, leave me alone. I wanna explore the world outside. Yeah, drag out the demons. Come on, man. I wanna die. Ex-urban city. It's like leaving it's illegal to go outside the city or something. Okay, so you can't leave the city. It's illegal. Yeah, so you can't leave. Because those goblin. Which goblin slave you need, man? Oh, so they're stuck in the city? Okay, really bad game then. Like you can never leave the game world. It's the first town, yeah. I like he was like, well, I guess it has to be... He's gone crazy. We have to kill him. They can fight! I like it to get the battle music going here. They're like, yeah, let's fight! If you beat up Martin, he's like, oh, I see. It's like in every game, right? He's probably gonna... He will obviously lose now. He will obviously defeat easily and take a lot of pain, right? Exactly, he's taking a lot of pain, right? He's like, bah, 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 bah. Yeah, he was, come on, we're doing the obvious. Of course he's gonna get beaten up. Like, you can't live outside, you can't even defeat me, man. Yeah, like, you can't defeat me with goblins then. Oh, that promise we made! What promise? What is that? Under the camera tree! He's like... But they're of course we give it defeated easily. How can you can't beat a goblin? You're so weak! Maybe you can't log off the game though. I don't know, I mean... Clearly Ara game salesman. Clearly she's the what he was. Did you kill him now? He's eating like an apple, maybe you killed him with the apple. What? Yes, yeah, because he's eating the apple. Maybe he was like accidentally got the apple in his throat or something. What? Oh, it's a knife. Yeah, he managed to, like, yeah, his best friend, the poor sister. What the f, man? Nissan. So he might be like a creepy doll in this game, well, I guess then permanently. You probably can't create like, you know, like a new. Well, I can see why this game is horrible because like you. Where's the Phoenix down? Where's the Phoenix down, woman? But yeah, but still, though, how did the knife? Yeah, if it's a little overkill, it meant the truth. It's like. But I guess maybe in this game world, it's easy to accidentally stuff. I don't know. I wonder if it happens to every player, you know, like something similar, or if it's just like. I guess it's kinda. Well, yeah, I guess it's first enemy, first villain. It's the sister, but he's the villain, I suppose. But she's almost like, where's why is she calling the cops on the soldiers, you know? For this. Oh man, poor Nisa, man. It was a great friend there. Well, did he leave the city now? Okay, so I think the trailer. I think I meet Ara ONEE-CHAN here in the alley here. She's gonna fly in here, right? That's kind of OPPAI fairy girl. It's like, have you ever played a game better than this? It's awesome! It's so realistic, right? It's like, but I have to say, it did feel actually realistic. It was so easy for him to actually do it. It was too easy, right? So you can't do a new game. Here she is. OPPAIs! Oh, she was in the bath. Nice. ONEE-CHAN. Exactly. Exactly! It's like, are you in the bath? She's like, that's right. Like, no, stop trying to seduce me. I was like, come on, woman. She's weird, she's kind of, yeah. Special shop avatar! Yeah, it's a perk for me. Yeah, like I'm a badass fairy girl. There we go. With ridiculous oppais. I accidentally, defeated her brother easily. Yeah, I can't. Did you touch her? Did you ada her? Oh, I see. You went for the ecchi route. Like... Oh, I see. It's ultra realistic game, yeah. She's like, oh, you have defeated your best friend immediately. That sounds good. But the OPPAI is absurd, like with ridiculous character design. Because the character design, it's like give her a cup. Best friend killer. She's like, what? I never seen this before. No one's ever gone this path before. You defeat the poor guy. Yeah. Obviously, game over immediately. Like, I haven't seen that one played this way before. You defeat your best friend. That's like an interesting strategy. Here we see a lot of... Well, I mean, the sister's there in the ending, so I guess you see a love interest? Maybe, right? And 2 other girls. You probably can't replay the game, right? Oh, okay. So like it's probably his... But still, though, you see, like... Yeah, her... No, she's Yandere for him somehow. She has the knife there. Yeah. The ending, I feel, is very alluring. Well, that character is like slain. Oh yeah, the ending is it's Alare's sister, of course, yeah, and the ONEE-CHAN, of course. Yeah, the sister is very like, oh, yeah, look at the very fan-serving ending, definitely. The anime definitely has a lot of ecchi characters. Like we see this, like kind of flat but still very revealing, wearing demon chick or so on, right? But I guess she's like Yandere, right? She's like, I will get revenge / love him. She's like, you have to... Yeah, I guess so. She has her knife, right? Very Yunuga side, I suppose. She's probably in love with him, right? Before, so... Hero, yeah. Hero the hero, come on. And the sister is just, Sundre. Yeah, she's hugging him in the ending, so I mean... She's probably just... I never seen the OPPAI, like, holy, this anime! This is a bouncing OPPAIs, man! This demon chick with her outfit too! Man, this anime is ecchi, holy shit, man! This anime got some ecchi, some fan service character design, holy smoly, man. Holy smoly, man. I mean, in the ending, you see this OPPAI, yeah, like you see them all, all screaming, right? He's all like, oh my god, these girls are crazy! They're too much. My harem is dangerous, right? And then after that, you see you see her smiling, and it's like an OPPAI bounce attack on the opening. Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, her she's smiling, like do. It's like here's some fan service ending, right? Then you see and then her, then we see the asset of the demon chick or whatever. Right? You're like, yeah, of course it's like that. The anime is like ridiculous. But I mean, the Arara, I mean, here, it looks absurd. I mean, she has, obviously she has big OPPAIs before too, right? Which kind of stands there. I mean, that's clear, but I mean, it looks absurd. Like, it really looks absurd. Like, when she stands like this, it really looks just insane, right? This is like, what is this? It really looks like, it's like, what's happening? What's happening? They're like giganto. They're just absurdly big. Her body shape, I mean, it's like, yeah, body shape is like, it's like, it's like a triangle. It's like her body shape is quite absurd. This looks absurd, like one of the biggest I've ever seen in anime. Honestly, I mean, this is some kind of like hen level of absurdity of the size of them. But yeah, pushed him there when he was eating an apple, and I mean, I guess she's like. Probably in love with him or something, Yandere style, she's like, I want that hero, my boyfriend, boyfriend and my brother killer, but still my boyfriend, something like that, right? But anyway, yeah, the start was pretty slow. I mean, the start was, I could easily see use truck instead. I could give me truck instead, but it was funny when we met, of course, Riona, right? Yeah, we met Riona. She's all like, "Oh, real game, boy!" Yeah, that started getting funny, right? Of course, her absurdity of her size was kind of funny in itself, right? But then it got a lot better when they entered the game. So the episode here felt the first episode definitely somewhat weak, I would say. I mean, it's funny as soon as you get into the game, right? But when she appeared, yeah, then I felt the episode kind of started, right? When Riona appeared, Leona, about like 8 to 9 minutes into it, yeah. So back like 1/3 in or so, then it kind of started, but then we kind of jump into the game and so on, right? And set it up. So felt a little slow in that sense, but it's kind of classic for isekai anime. So you kind of have to kind of enter it and talk about his like some kind of issue with his track team or something, but I wonder if it's even relevant in the actual anime later on. But yeah, it started getting fun when you enter the game. It's realistic, but at the same time though, maybe the game is just like crap because it's so easy to do these mistakes. But I have to say, I do find the whole brother thing a little silly, right? Like he's pushed him and just eating an apple, like that would not, very unlikely or this thing happen, probably almost impossible, right? Because the apple thing would be in the way, and like the knife wasn't that big, so it probably get stuck in. I mean, honestly, you probably wouldn't be able to do it, right? As an actual human, probably get stuck like in the mouth. Yeah, like very unlikely would have just pierced through completely and immediately. like it's like, yeah, it's a little overkill how we managed to defeat the brother so easily. Yeah, that probably wouldn't happen, right? So maybe that's something with the game then itself, that the game gives you like maximum bad luck or something. So the game is like supposed to be super hardcore. I mean, it seems like a joke, but I mean, like maybe that's the point of the game. Because they talked about in the intro, like, oh, like games are too easy, but this game, it was super hardcore, super complicated, right? So maybe the game is like, coded like, oh, if you fall here, oh, you kill the guy. Or if you touch this woman, oh, she's gonna, like, yeah, if you touch her, she will kill you. Yeah, maybe the game is like, it's like coded like, basically the worst scenario that can happens depending on what your reactions. But like, if you do an action, you always get the worst outcome, at least for the kind of quest and so on. That could be a way the game is supposed to be hardcore, right? Like seriously, that could be a way to make the game hard, right? Because you talk to your childhood best friend in the wrong way, and she's like, it's she, and this goes, yeah, and then she goes to the guard, they call you, I guess you arrest or whatever. Right? Like it could be like that, because otherwise it feels really silly how it managed to defeat the brother in this context, right? So incredibly easily. So I don't know. Maybe the game is hardcore. I can just imagine that could be like a team here in this game, right? That no matter what he does, it always goes maximum wrong way, right? Like it's gonna keep going this in this path though. But he probably can never replay the game, right? You kind of enter the game and you can't replay, and then I guess but somehow, I mean, he has obviously he has this badass Ara ONEE-CHAN with him, but I guess again, right, the sister is probably gonna... The sister, I mean, of the brother. Of the brother. The sister, obviously, of the... the blonde sister, yeah. She's probably gonna fall out in too, right? And then I guess also Kade, then his Imoto, is gonna have a classic, like ONEE-CHAN. But I wonder then, as I mentioned earlier, I wonder if the Kade part, we saw already briefly in the episode, I wonder if she's gonna be like part of... is she gonna be like a love interest, so to speak, outside the game world, or she start playing the game? Doesn't feel like she can enter the game unless he gives her the game too, right? So yeah, maybe. If he has like, why would she start playing this game too? Why would he even give anyone else the game? You know what I mean? Like, why would he even give someone else this game to play, right? As he kind of hates himself already. So I could see it being more likely that maybe they just have some kind of romance-ish going on, right? Outside the game world, right? And of course, I mean, Ara Leona, she's gonna have probably both in-game and outside, right? With him. And then there's redhead kind of demon chick is probably another AI character that loves him. Maybe, right? The kind of the flat-chested woman, with very revealing. Oh yeah, she's probably like maybe another AI character that falls in love with him. Perhaps. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch more. But I will say it's like it started getting really good. I mean, let's be honest here. I found the last 5 or so minutes, kind of after the brother scene. When you get to the brother scene, that's of course where it starts, right? And that's like the last 3-4 minutes, yeah. I mean, that's where the anime really felt like, hey, this is actually getting pretty good. Yeah. I mean, you know, that's kind of where the episode starts, right? You know, and she gets all angry, yeah, and she gets all angry, right? Like this, I feel like okay, now the episode really started, or the storyline, right? Now we're starting to see why the game is so bad. So, I mean, I think this was really great, and I really want to see more, right? But it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a little annoying that I felt that we kind of have to wait half the episode to kind of get somewhere. But then it's like, oh man, now it's getting really good. I mean, now it's getting freaking, yeah, like it's kind of like that, right? You kind of go through the last moment, and at that moment you were like, oh yeah, this is good, man. This is excellent anime, right? It's probably gonna be a really good anime, and as I mentioned earlier, it's mostly probably a parody, right? It's probably mostly gonna parodize stuff similar to you know, Konosuba or so on, right? And joking about different game tropes. He's clearly like, oh, this is a quest I see, and so on, right? It's gonna be stuff like that, clearly. One thing I say again, though, which I find kind of strange, though. I mean, I do understand to some extent you don't want to have pain and so on. I would definitely rather play a game with pain, though. Honestly, I mean, unless you can, I mean, if you die, you die. That wouldn't be a good way. But still, I mean, I would rather have a game where you actually get some stuff like that, because that would make the virtual reality be way better, right? But otherwise, I mean, if you play a virtual reality game, why would you remove stuff like taste? That's kind of strange. It's one thing you don't want to have the negative stuff, but you definitely want to have a full dive virtual reality with taste and so on. So the other games, you sound kind of boring if you don't have taste and so on. I mean, let's say you play, like the game he was trying to buy, right? That was kind of like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, something like that, right? And if I play this, let's say Dragon Quest 11, you have camping. So let's say Dragon Quest 12 was virtual reality. Of course, I want to be able to taste that, you know, like the food you eat at the camp and so on. That will give you extra experience of the game. Why would I remove that? It's one thing you might remove again, the pain senses, right? But like, yeah, like the other games actually sound pretty boring to me, honestly. Like, we have this amazing 100+ years in the future advanced virtual reality games, but they don't have like pain and smell and so on, or taste. It's all like visually. They really sounds like a really. That sounds like a bad, outcome of gaming then. And I don't actually buy, you know, the original opening where they're like, people didn't want a challenge. Games offer relaxing. I'm like, no, they really aren't. And honestly, I'll talk much here about immediately. Games offer many different things. Like that. Just like you have a movie, right? You have a movie. Some people want to see a sad movie, right? Some people want to see a funny movie. Same thing with games, right? Not the job itself, but some people want to have a challenge, right? They play games to be the winner, a hard game. Because otherwise, for example, no one would ever like StarCraft, right? StarCraft is a very hard game. You play it to win and be the best, right? And have this competition strategies. But it's a very complicated, very hard game to get into, right? But if no one liked that kind of aspect of gaming, that game would never be popular, right? Because it's not. Because StarCraft is not a very relaxing game. Playing StarCraft, it is not relaxing. Not at all. Like, not at all. It's very stressful, you know. To some extent, though. I would say this thing, though. Actually, when I play StarCraft a lot, actually, I would say, for me, though, personally, it does kind of relieve me of some stress playing like Street Fighter and StarCraft and so on. After I get into the games, right? Today, of course, but I mean, any kind of that kind of competitive game, because in the beginning it's not like shit, this is hard, I have to learn the mechanics, I have to, you know, upgrade so on. But when you kind of get into that, you play it for like a few months or whatever, you're really good at it, then actually, I say, yeah, even if it's very like, you kind of get that motion, that kind of relieves you of, because you're so focused, you have to be, it's my experience then, because you have to be so, you know, focused right on this game, because the game is so complicated and so hard. You stop thinking about, you know, bad life or, oh, this person I know is sick, or yeah, that thing kind of in your brain gets removed, because you need to have that tunnel vision and focus, right, to be able to play those games. So, but it's like doing any sport, right? If you play high competitive, whatever, volleyball, whatever, and you really focus on this match, everything else around you is kind of like ignored, right? That's it for me. So when I competed in sports too, every time I played any kind of competitive sport, you know, in front of people, that never really bothered me, right? Because I'm just, when I'm playing the game, I'm in the zone, right? So I kind of ignore everything around me. I don't really think so much about people sharing or whatever. Really, like, I'm very into the game, right? Yeah. So in a sense, it could be relaxing, I suppose. But still, though, I don't buy the premise. Definitely not. There's no way the premise would work make any sense, because there's so many different kind of people, and you would need different kind of games, right, in a virtual reality setting. You would need this like etch games. Yeah, but also you need the action games. You need kind of just nice puzzle games. You know what I mean. Different genres, different kind of audiences, all right. So I don't buy that at all. But anyway, otherwise the anime was good though. When it started, the first 10 minutes were kind of like roughly was kind of like whatever. But then it got really good.